So Matt, do you want to introduce the case study?
Yeah. Hi, and welcome to a Boston Virtual Imaging video project case study. My name is Matt Murphy. I'm the founder of Boston Virtual Imaging, and I'm here with Kyle Carrier.
I'm the director of video productions at Boston Virtual Imaging, so I oversee all the video projects.
These case studies are a bit of a new thing for us. We're taking a look back at past projects that we've completed and projects that we've enjoyed or projects that we consider to be particularly noteworthy, and we're generating case studies. The case studies will exist in a couple of different forms. Number one, they'll exist as kind of a standard written case study, but as part of that process to create a written case study, we are having conversations among team members to talk about what we remember about a project and what was interesting or memorable and noteworthy. And we're going to be sharing these conversations on social media. The case study that we're talking about, the project that we're talking about today, is a project that we did a few months ago in early 2021 for our client, National Development and Cranshaw Construction. This was a project that was really intended to help them thank the frontline workers in their company who showed up to work every day, in their words, to keep the lights on, to basically keep their 300 person company running, to keep their properties running throughout the pandemic.
So I think, do we want to maybe talk about like the original request from our client and how that kind of kicked off?
Yeah, that would be good.
The way this project came to be was Matt got in touch with me shortly after Kathy McMahon, head of marketing from National Development, had gotten in touch with him about the notion of doing a video for them. And she had a few specific requirements for the video. Matt, do you recall what those were?
Well, I think the overall requirement that we heard was, well, yeah, I guess it was a few. The requirements that I heard were there was an upcoming uh, all company meeting, annual meeting. And usually these meetings happen in person, but because of COVID, the meeting was happening virtually. And they were really looking for a meaningful way to express gratitude to the workers, the employees, their team members who couldn't work from home, couldn't work through Zoom meetings, and really needed to show up every day to get the job done. These are, they're both National Development is a developer, Cranshaw Construction is a construction company. So, you can't build a building through Zoom. So it's the people, the property managers, the construction managers and workers who showed up and kept these projects running, kept these properties running. So I would say the overall goal was to express gratitude during this meeting and have something that could be used to continue to do that on other platforms. How do you remember it?
I think that's how I remember it too. I think there are a couple other components. One was not only do we need to see these workers in the video, but there needs to be um, a strong relationship to the place that they work in.
Hmm.
And these places need to be represented, whether it's actually photographing the places or through some other creative way. I think um, there were some thoughts about maybe also getting aerial footage. But early on in this video concepting stage, we just knew that like place had a part of it as well, because a lot of these employees report to one specific place that they're contributing to. So that was another component. Um, and we were also under a very tight deadline constraint. I think very tight. I think it was about 2 weeks from the initial request when they wanted the final product delivered.
Yeah.
So we were quickly digesting this information, trying to figure out all those requirements that our client was asking for, and also trying to turn around and ask the right questions in order to propose a couple concepts very quickly, in order to hit the road filming shortly after that. I think the initial conversations when Kathy reached out to us were on a Thursday or a Friday, and we were trying to solidify a concept and a proposal very quickly before we went into the weekend, knowing that we had to hit Monday with our gears turning, getting ready to um, shoot all these locations and all these people. So it was a quick concepting and listening phase that we normally do,
Yeah, and I
that we
think
don't normally do.
right, and a very fast turn timeline. And I should say for the audience, we're planning on distributing these conversations in 4 parts. We're planning on breaking them down from like talking about what was the project, kind of an overview of the project, what was the problem that we were trying to solve, and then part two will be pre-production. How do we create a concept? Part three will be like, how do we actually film it? What did we encounter? And then part four will be post-production and client reactions and kind of like, what are our thoughts looking back? I think this is probably a good time to transition to part two, concept development and like going through that process. So
Sure.